welcome you to Protocol Evolution. I'm going to keep this clip somewhat short, somewhat to the point, because the subject matter that we are going to be covering is very simple and easy to grasp, I believe. I don't think anybody on this planet will have any problems with grasping the concepts that we're about to put on the table, or rather the concept. But let me first start off by saying that, you know what, Protocol Evolution, since I started this project, I think it's one of the more awesome things that I've actually done in this life. It brings me a lot of joy, it brings me a lot of happiness. I sincerely believe that we will reach our A and B goals. A goal being living, having a stellar life, doing that for self, and then causing that trickle-down effect of making the world a better place. But another reason why it gives me joy and brings me happiness is it allows me, as I speak to you, I don't really sit down and pre-write this stuff. I don't really, have an outline. I just kind of let the universe guide me into a subject matter. And with that being said, it allows me to explore me, to get a better and maybe even a deeper understanding of the things that I am sharing with you. And I think that's triggered by the act of sharing, giving back. And it just brings me so much happiness. It really does. As I sit down to do these clips, I am just like so excited, and I have to do a couple of takes, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I start stumbling and rambling on, but it brings me a certain feeling of joy and happiness. And that's what this clip is about today, happiness. And that's part of one of the reasons why I waited till we got right to the deadline before I actually created this clip. I had a couple of other subjects that I wanted to talk about. However, a couple of days ago, a friend of mine asked me a question. And that question was, why do you do the things that you do? And I think they were more talking about Protocol Evolution, but it came into the books, which, by the way, Paul, stop the presses. Actually, I always try to start the year off by releasing a project out into the world, out and to share with others. And I actually have, and I believe it will be done before the first week of January. Started a book, and I started this a little while back, but it's all coming together now. I started a book. I'm considering it a guide to our DVD, The Plan, but this will be finished within the first week, and it'll be available on Amazon. We'll share links with you. But it is awesome because I think I bring the things that we're talking about not so much on a universal level, more to a human level, and I do that by sharing my experiences, how I've come to understand the concepts of balance, the concepts of being positive, the concepts of return on investment. And I share a lot of it is very personal, but again, it's the sharing. And I thought by writing the book when I first started that it would cause issues or problems because I would have to look at the past. However, I flipped that around and just began to realize that, hey, you are giving back. Again, important concept, you are giving back. You, by sharing your experiences, you might be able to help another sentient being that might be going through the same thing that you are going through. And with that being said, I am extremely happy with this. And like I said, look for that the first week in January. The name of the book will be called The Plan. Go figure, right? And I'm really happy about that. But drifting, let's get back on point. What I want to talk about is happiness. A friend asked me these questions like, why do you do the things that you do? And when she asked me that, I knew the answer immediately, but some questions cause you to do what I call soul search. And in a millisecond after I went through all these feelings and emotions and asked myself, remember, supercomputer up there, within a millisecond I came back with this one answer. I do these things because they make me happy. Is there any other reason to do anything while you're on this plane of existence? your main goal through everything, through anything, through relationships, through work, through business, through your hobbies, through your creative endeavors should always be based on happiness. That should always be, again, we come back to that whole everything's connected. That should always be your return on investment is happiness. There is nothing else that really matters, okay? As a sentient human being on this planet, the more that you give your energy towards stress and bad feelings and problems and issues and things that you just can't change, and you worry about what's going on that you have no control over, and you just, the bills are mounting, and you just sit there and you just stare at the notices. These things, they don't bring you happiness. You need to find a way to make sure that everything that you do while you are on this plane of existence brings you happiness, okay? One of the things that, and I just finished this chapter in the book, is problems and issues. And a lot of us, we focus on the problem. We take so long to get to the state of resolution because we are so focused on the problem. We vent about the problem. We point blame. We try to assign blame to who caused the problem. We sit up there and we complain about the problem. But none of those things change the state of the problem. And as long as the problem exists, it brings you nothing but stress, bad feelings, it deteriorates your health, okay? So all you're doing is making yourself, for lack of a better term, unhappy. Now, how do you change this, okay? Well, you need to take the problem out of the problem state. You need to put it into the solution state. See, once you stop giving energy to the problem, which is, in essence, I guess the easiest way to put it is negative energy, because if it's causing you stress, if it's making you unhappy, it serves no real purpose. However, if you take the problem out of the problem state, you take that name away from it, and you go into resolution or solving the problem, then your mind is focused on something else, okay? And it's no longer focused on the stressor or the stresses that the problem created. You're now focused on making it go away, okay? And by doing that, once the problem is gone, you can go back to being happy. A lot of what I talk about in the book actually deals with, I guess the easiest way to put it is a relationship that actually triggered this chain of events, that actually sent the dominoes toppling. And as I'm writing the book, I'm seeing how the universe does have a plan for us. And I could see in the early days when I was negative, when I was unhappy, when my mind was focused not on the positive, when my mind was more focused on the problem instead of the solution, I saw, as I'm writing the book, I saw that this really doesn't work out too well. This really doesn't help anything. However, once I flipped that around, once I did a 180 and began to be a positive individual, I started putting positive energy back out there. I stopped looking at problems as being problems and looked at them as things that I could solve, or that I would rather spend the time resolving or making them, giving a solution to them. Once I started doing that, I noticed that my life started to change. Different pathways with different choices, and we've talked about this. And now I'm very happy. Now I'm very excited about life. And the honest thing about it, and as we go into the year, we're going to move away from a lot of what we talked about, and we're going to get more in depth into the whole choice thing that goes on in the universe. I started to notice that once I became positive, the universe started pushing me in different paths. It started putting me in front of different people. It started giving me things or tools that I needed to evolve. And those things wouldn't have happened, and I've actually gone through the choice map. Those things wouldn't have happened if the initial, I guess, the initial start of the Domino's Toppling, which would have been something that I thought was the end of my universe, if that didn't start right there, okay, and then if I didn't gather positive thoughts and positive ideas and start spreading positive energy, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't be talking about this. Protocol Evolution may not have existed, okay? The talent that I've acquired with my photography may not have happened. The books that I have written since that point, the book that I'm writing now would not have happened. So you have to, and just to bring this home, you have to, stay positive, okay? And your goal and everything that you do and everything, all of your endeavors, no matter what it is, should be your happiness. Once you become happy, once you become that positive being within the universe, guess what? Here comes that trickle down effect, okay? Happiness should always be your number one goal, okay? And if there's anything that's making you unhappy, anything that's making you stressed out, that's giving you stressful moments, you need to remove that. Remove that thing, person, whatever, out of your life, okay? No, pain doesn't kill anybody, okay? I learned that when I worked in medicine. Pain has never, ever, ever killed anyone. But stress, oh, that's a whole different ballgame, okay? So you want to remove anything that is negative, anything that makes you unhappy, anything that gives you a bad vibe, anything that brings your aura back in and attacks you with negative energy that's going to give you stress. You want to remove that out of your circumference. I went on just a little bit more than I expected. However, I think you get the point. I think that you do understand that happiness should always be your main goal in life. I want to wish all of you much health, wealth, and prosperity in this new year of 2015, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side of 2014 with more clips. Again, new book, The Plan, and you know what? I want you to have the best. I want you to have nothing but joy and happiness in your life. This is L. Robinson, Protocol Evolution. Love you.
We're all here to do what we're all here to do.